我说中文
Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot, Chinese pot. That's the way to learn Chinese.
Hello, welcome once again to Chinese Pod. We're coming to you from Shanghai, China. We're bringing you lessons in spoken Mandarin. My name is Ken Carroll.
And I'm Jenny.
And it's great to be back. And today's lesson is an elementary lesson. That's level 2. If you're a newcomer, you will find on ChinesePod.com lessons that are easier or more difficult as you require. But now, the elementary lesson today is something that we have kind of flirted with for a long time.
But something our listeners are very, very interested in.
Indeed, and we're going to make it very explicit. Now, what we're looking at today is measure words.
That's right.
Measure words or classifiers, if you like. Now, measure words are sometimes quite tricky in Chinese. And I want to just say something briefly before we get into the lesson. The approach we're going to take to measure words here today is an inductive approach as opposed to a deductive approach. Now, what I mean is we're not going to explain all the rules about measure words because there's too many of them and they end up confusing. And I don't think that's really the way you learn anyway. With an inductive approach, we'll just give you some examples. You can see them in context, and then you can start to see the patterns for yourself. Now, of course, we'll give you a few generalizations as well and to guide you.
And Ken has a few very revealing ones.
Well, I have a few ideas that I think have been helpful to me over the years to figure out measure words. Right, now, all right, let's listen to the measure words. How many do we have measure words today? I think
We
5.
have 5
Okay.
groups.
So why don't we just listen to those? Just sit back and listen to them, and then we'll come back and we'll break them down for you.
第一个，一张纸，两张纸，三张纸，几张纸。第二个，一辆汽车，两辆汽车，三辆汽车，几辆汽车。第三个，一件衣服，两件衣服，三件衣服，几件衣服。第四个，一双筷子，两双筷子，三双筷子，几双筷子。第五个，一本书，两本书，三本书，几本书。
Okay, well done, Jenny. Great. Now, let's take a look at them. Let's just translate them.
Yes, we shall.
Yeah, fine.
一张纸，
A piece of paper.
两张纸，
2 pieces of paper.
三张纸，
3 pieces of paper.
几张纸。
Some pieces of paper.
一辆汽车，
A car.
两辆汽车，
2 cars.
三辆汽车，
3 cars.
几辆汽车。
A few cars.
一件衣服，
A piece of clothing.
两件衣服，
2 articles of clothing.
三件衣服，
3 articles of clothing.
几件衣服。
Some clothes.
一双筷子，
A pair of chopsticks.
两双筷子，
2 pairs of chopsticks.
三双筷子，
3 pairs of chopsticks.
几双筷子。
Some chopsticks.
一本书，
A book.
2本书
2 books.
3本书
3 books.
几本书
A few books. Okay, so some interesting, lots of stuff to talk about here. Let's take a look at the first measure word, and that is,
张
and that's first tone.
That's correct.
Now, I happen to know that 张 is used to describe nouns, usually in the form of flat objects, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like paper.
A piece of paper. Right. So 一张纸 means a piece of paper. It's a flat
Yes.
piece. Maybe not a roll. You wouldn't say that for a roll of paper
no,
coming
you
out of a
won't. Yes.
factory. You'd say it for a piece of paper on the desk. Now, 张 is used in other contexts too. What other flat objects are we likely to hear it with?
Well, Ken, I'm so glad that you bring out
Okay.
the flatness because now we're using it on something very different from paper and
Okay.
it's furniture.
Furniture.
For example, a table.
A table.
一张桌子
Great.
一张桌子
Great. Good.
Or a bed.
Indeed.
一张床
A lot of students of Chinese Pod tell us while they love to speak and listen to Mandarin, they are a bit intimidated to learn how to read and write in it because of the complexity of Chinese characters. That's why we created the 66 Characters series. Try it and see for yourself.
一张床
Excellent. So I think those are the 3 main contexts you'll hear, isn't it? The
that's
paper,
true.
the table, and the bed.
Yes.
I think we could revisit that at some point. But anyway, that's a general guideline. So the first word is 张 is the first tone, and it measures flat objects. Now the second one we have is,
亮
now that is a 4th tone right there, isn't
Correct.
it? 4th tone. And 亮 measures vehicles,
Yes.
including bicycles.
Anything that with wheels, I
Anything
guess.
with wheels.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
come to think about
good.
it.
That's great. Including trucks,
Trucks,
A truck,
even trains,
a train. Wow.
moped.
Moped. Not an airplane.
No, even though it has a
wheels.
few wheels.
Okay, but it's not a vehicle as such. It's a
Yes, it's a flying object.
indeed. Great. So now, so let's hear it again. So a car.
一辆汽车，一辆汽车，
Great. 一辆汽车. Excellent. Now the third one we had was,
件，件
and that's also a 4th tone right there,
Correct.
isn't it? And 件 refers usually to
clothes that you wear on your upper
on your upper body, as opposed to a
Yes.
pair of pants or a
Yes.
pair of socks. Okay. So 一件衣服. So you would use 件 for like a shirt.
Yes.
So that would be,
一件衬衫，一件衬衫
and you'd also use 件 for
coat，
a coat. Okay. Yeah.
一件大衣，一件大衣。
Great. Excellent. Now, outside of clothing, is 件 used in any other context? Off the top of your head, Jenny? Probably.
To describe some general objects or
Okay.
commodities
Okay. Well, we won't go there
or
right
luggage, yeah.
now. Okay. We'll, I think we'll revisit that. As you
Yeah.
said, keep it simple here
We
today.
have to.
All right. Good. Now, the next one is,
双，双
and that's first tone by the sounds of
Correct.
it. And that means a pair. Now, in this case, we're talking about a pair of chopsticks, and that is,
一双筷子，一双筷子。
great. Now, of course, it works the same way as the word pair does in English.
Yeah.
So the rest of it, it's just a pair of this, a pair of that. A pair of shoes, right?
Yes，一双鞋子。
Okay, excellent. So we'll leave. I think we will leave that for now at that one. Now, the next one is
本，本
ben, as in third tone.
Yes，
So we use it to describe books, and we say,
一本书，一本书。
okay.
And 本 measures things that are compiled
Indeed.
together, like paper
Oh, there you
compiled.
go. Compiled.
Like books or even notebooks.
Notebooks, magazines.
Magazines, yes.
Wow, great. Now I want to look at the 4th, the example we give, like 几本书, right?
Yes.
Now, the difference between, if you say just books, you can just say 书
书,
as plural, right?
Yeah.
But when you say 几本书, what's the difference there?
You're scoping, you're indicating that you want some books, a few books.
A specific, perhaps, set of
Yes.
books. You'd say on the table, there's some books.
几本
Yeah,
书
I mean, there's a number of books on
Yes.
the table. And so that if applies to all of the examples we gave here.
Yeah.
If you said cars, you would just say
汽车
cars, right? Now, and if you say some cars,
几辆汽车
as in you're talking about a specific number of cars. Okay. There's a lot to today's lesson, actually. And as we said, we've kind of touched it on the surface, but I do recommend that you listen to the patterns, listen for the lexes here as well. You know, associate the measure word with the nouns. It's better than just trying to memorize or generate
Yeah.
rules. It's just easier. And I know that some people, and including Lantian, I want to mention Lantian because he's been for some
One of
time
them avid listeners from the very beginning.
demanding this. And anyway, there it is. I hope that lesson on measure words was useful. We will have much more on this over the coming weeks and months. Anyway, I think that's it for today. Don't forget to go to ChinesePod.com. You'll get lots more examples, which will help you to inductively consolidate the stuff we're talking about. But for now, Jenny, it really is time for us to say 再见.
再见
You can only hit the refresh button on your inbox so many times before realizing I have no friends. Would you like to make some? Learn Mandarin. It's ChinesePod.com. Mandarin on your terms.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 0335. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/0335 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/0335.